Imagine living in Mexico's most enchanting cities, surrounded by beautiful colonial architecture and all the modern comforts you could wish for. Life feels perfect. Then, out of the blue, you decide to move to a city in Mexico that's barely a blip on the radar for international travelers and even among Mexicans. Sounds a bit wild, right? Well, that's exactly what me and my husband from the UK are about to do. I saw your comments on the last video I released. Some of you are excited, while some others are confused. I totally get it. Querétaro is a rich, safe, and cosmopolitan city in Mexico, and so many of you have fallen in love with it through my videos. The city where we are going is called Tula, my birthplace. Picture this: instead of colonial architecture, you'll find ancient pyramids. Forget the fancy restaurants. We're talking about traditional local food. And while you might not see many international faces, you'll experience Mexican hospitality. So today, I'm going to be explaining why we're making this change and the journey that led us to go to Tula. First, let's go back in time a bit. 2 years ago, Dave and I were seriously thinking about buying a house here in Querétaro. We were looking at different properties and we were imagining our life in each one of those. We even found an apartment that we thought it was perfect for us. We even made an offer. And then something unexpected happened. We tried to get a mortgage, but we hit an obstacle. I wasn't allowed to get one, but Dave did. Dave is from the UK, and because of some bureaucratic mix-up, his credit history wasn't properly recorded. The bank couldn't find a record of his good behavior, even though he had been working and paying taxes here in Mexico for years. The credit is rejected.
Okay, so no house. So it's Bancomer's fault. Bancomer's
fault. That's why.
Because I've had a credit card for 4 years.
And we didn't buy the property at that time. At first, we were pretty upset about it. But you know what? Almost immediately, we started to feel relief. Not buying that apartment gave us the freedom to do something we've been wanting to do for a while. After a few months, we went to Colombia for a few months. Our time in Colombia was incredible for us as a couple. We explored amazing cities, hiked beautiful landscapes, and we met incredible people as well. I also could feel that I developed my imagination to start my own business or improve my business, which is teaching Spanish. But by the way, if you want to learn or develop your Spanish skills, I'm gonna leave the link below, or you can check it here as well. We realized that home isn't just a place, it's a feeling, and it's the people you are with. After our Colombian adventure, we came back to Querétaro last year. We rented the house that I showed you in my previous video. It's actually the house where I am today. If you haven't watched that video, I'm going to leave the link in the description or here. But watch this video first. We bought furniture, we had a good time here, we made new friends, and we kept in touch with the old ones. It was a really good time for us. But as the months went by, Dave and I started thinking more about our future. We've always been the kind of people who set goals for ourselves, even though those goals change as we grow and learn new things. We found ourselves wondering if buying a house was still something we wanted to do. So we started looking at houses just to see what was out there. While we were doing this, something important occurred to us. You know, 10 years ago, before dating Dave, I made a big decision. My mom and his partner at that time needed to sell the house where they were living in Tula because they wanted to start a business in another city in the state of Hidalgo. I decided to buy the house from them using my credit of Infonavit. For those who don't know what Infonavit is, it's a Mexican institution that offers credit loans to employees who pay taxes. At the time, buying a house seemed like a huge mistake. I was struggling to make the payments because my salary wasn't just enough. Things got even tougher when I decided to quit my job and start my own business, which unfortunately the business didn't work out. So the interest rate was piling up fast. More or less at the same time, I was talking to Dave online. We were building this relationship again. For those who don't know, we didn't meet online, we met in person, but we stopped communication for many years. So we started talking again, and I told him to visit Mexico. He came, we had a great time. By coincidence, he was looking for a job in a Latin American country. So it made sense that he would come to Mexico to start working. So he came to Queretaro and we started dating. The job that he found was a job where he was only earning $550 US dollars per month as a teacher. I finally got a job in an office, and I was very lucky because it was a decent job with all the bonuses and extra hours that I was getting paid, and I was working developing my degree abilities. But if you remember, there was a house that needed to be paid. We were in our late 20s and we knew that we needed to do something fast. So they've changed jobs and he started working in 2 different jobs. So he was working very early in the morning until 9 p.m. at night. That was very admirable. And I was working extra time in my current job. Our goal was simple. We needed to pay that house in Tula. To give you an idea of how much we were making, it was no more than $2,500 between the two of us. And the payments that at the beginning we needed to do to the house, only on interest, we needed to give $300 just to interest at least. We married, we focused on paying that house, and after 2 years, we finally paid off. It was an incredible feeling. Now, that house in Tula represents much more than just a property. It's the symbol of our journey together, of the challenges we overcame as a couple. It's part of our history as a couple. But here's the thing. We didn't move to that house in Tula. We still had the travel bug inside us. We knew that we deserved our reward. So we decided to travel. We went to Vietnam for a year and a half. I made videos in Spanish and English about that trip. Went to the UK as well a few times. Came back to Querétaro, Mexico. Went to Colombia and Ecuador and came back to Querétaro again because we've seen Querétaro as our home base. Recently though, we've been feeling something change inside us. Our trip to Colombia was amazing. It made us realize how much we love traveling. And then we went to Ecuador and we didn't enjoy it very much. Ecuador made us realize the importance of having a place to call home, the importance of having our own bed, and even our own furniture. These things matter much more to us than we used to think before. It's funny how life works sometimes. We thought that having a minimalist lifestyle, not being tied down to one place, would make us feel free. And while that can be true in some ways, there are other factors to consider. We found ourselves craving a real home base, be near our friends, and of course, be near family. And that's when it hit us. We already have a house in Tula, a house we worked so much for it, and that means a lot to us. And the city of Tula, well, let me tell you, we are very excited about moving there. I'm from Tula. There's something special about going back to your roots. My grandmother lives there. I think it's going to be very nice to spend this time with her again. And a lot of near family lives nearby. I think it's gonna be great having them close because our priorities are changing. Recently, we've been traveling more to the state of Hidalgo, and every time we go, we've been feeling this warm, wonderful feeling. It feels right. Of course, we won't be paying more rent, which it will give us more financial freedom. Tula is in a great location. It's only 89 kilometers north of Mexico City, around 150 kilometers away from Queretaro, and less than 100 kilometers from the nearest airport called AIFA. Plus, the government is planning to build a train that will start from Mexico City, will pass through Tula, go to Querétaro, and will end in Guadalajara. Imagine how easy it's going to be traveling to these places. We are already planning some trips to go to Mexico City and have amazing food there. I'm very excited about that. But that doesn't mean that Tula doesn't have great food. The state of Hidalgo is the home of the tasty barbacoa. And not only barbacoa, but pulque, this natural Mexican drink that we get from the magueyes. That is very similar to kombucha, some people say, and it's becoming very popular. Of course, I'm very excited to make more videos about the food. And for history buffs, Tula is the home of the Toltec civilization. So I'm very excited to tell you about the history and take you to the pyramids. Now, I know that probably this is a lot to take in, and probably you have a lot of questions and comments that I would love to hear below in the comments. And I want to ask you, have you ever made a move like this? It'd be so nice to read that too. We're very lucky that we can work remotely and choose the place where we can live. We are very excited about starting this new chapter in our lives. And before I go, there's exciting news that I want to tell you about. We've been renovating our house, the kitchen and the bathroom, and we're very excited to show you that. It's a family project. We have started the process. We're breaking down the walls where we're going to renovate the bathroom and the kitchen. And right now, my mom is here, my boyfriend's mom is here, my sister, my husband, and I. So let's see how this first day for us goes. I've never done it, so this is very exciting. It's a very exciting project. My mom and her boyfriend are working on this. So it's going to give it more value to the house. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you our place, Tula, a little bit more Tula. It would be so nice for us that you join us in our next adventure. So see you soon, amigos. Adios.